All right, the Vero Beach Recreation Commission meeting. That'll help hold if I turn that on. Tuesday, September 11th is hereby called to order. If you call the roll.
I'm not ready. Mr. McMillan, Mr. Holton,
Here.
Ms. Malone, Ms. Birdie,
Here.
Ms. Jones, Ms. Donetta,
Present.
Chairman Yen.
Here. Okay. The next order of business is approval of minutes. It's one of the reasons to have this meeting is we got so far behind. April 10th, any questions, discussion on that? None? May 29th? All right, no discussion, or discussion, but no comments. July 12th, same thing. Somebody want to move for approval of all three?
I move that we accept the minutes as written.
I second.
Good. We'll do a voice vote. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, approved. Public comment? It's not squeaking out there today.
No public.
All right, new business. As most of you probably have observed, there's been a lot of comment from different people about master plan for the parks, and I think the facility to be done by an outside consultant. So I put this on the agenda, and with that, I'll let Rob start off by giving us some history of what's been done by outside consultants.
And just to let you know, the last time the Recreation Department, we didn't have a parks plan, but the last time the Recreation Department actually had a master plan was in July of 1992. Do you remember that, Bobby?
Is that when the suits came?
Yes, that would be the suits. That's correct. And it was a very in-depth study, but it really was the Recreation Department. And I can tell you that the cost for it was, I believe, somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 to have it happen. But it was a very in-depth study of our Recreation Department.
Okay, I think going forward, today's really more of a discussion issue, on what we feel about. And I guess some ideas of if you have you hire an outside consultant, what, should they be looking at? And I can tell you, I have contacts that are Parks and Recreation consultants, and they told me that the basic cost today, the minimum cost is $80,000.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What are they going to be looking at? Where to get the money to pay for it? And who loses their job so that you can?
Right. Yeah, and like I said, I know ours was somewhere in that when we had it done. I would say that when you do an analysis like this, I think it's important that we make sure that we include probably Public Works as an overall part of the scope of the plan. But I know that, like Dick said, that this has been very serious discussion going on, and it's been brought forward by a number of people that are in our community who have some questions regarding it, and I know that it would take a lot of work. I know it took a lot of work for the consultants to do their thing, but they did a great job.
See, Rob and I went to a presentation in Sebastian about, 2 years ago?
Correct.
Where their Recreation Advisory Board was considering outside consultants. Right. And they had 2 proposals, of which I think the lower priced one was at $100,000 initially. And then they went back and negotiated and got it down to $80,000. And eventually they didn't accept either one. But that just tells you, where they're working on this thing. It's the question is, in my opinion, the money can be better spent just taking care of improving facilities that we have, and just doing things within the house. But as we've all heard, different people have proposed or suggested that an outside consultant be hired. So this is just really trying to get the feeling of what our thinking is and making a suggestion.
Would the council ever approve that kind of money for?
I think what's most important, I think what Dick's presenting is that I think before you even get to the council, I think between you all, do you think it's something that, I'm sure a lot of you have been following what's going on, and I think this is what Dick is alluding to. Is this something that y'all think should be brought forward? A master plan or some type of an idea of what you'd like to see out there and what the public would want to see? And would you guys want to be the ones to possibly begin this process? I might be wrong, Dick, but I think that's what you're alluding to, correct?
Well, I'm just actually following up on suggestions from like Amelie and other people that there is no question that a master plan would be beneficial. But is the cost worth it, I guess, is really what it gets down to.
I mean, and there's a big blue building someplace you want to move. There's a lot of things that aren't budgeted that, I don't see it. I don't see spending money on that, on a plan. And look what happened to the vision plan. Spent a bunch of money and it's been on a shelf for 8 or 10 years.
What is your vision for the future, Rob?
My vision for the future is, to be honest with you, it's kind of short. And right now it's a short one of we've got our budget coming up and we've got our next year coming forward. For the future, it would be that I would hope that we would be able to strengthen and improve all of our facilities that we currently have. I would hope that Charles Park addition would be something that can be done in the future. And then from there, allow the community to do their thing with whatever they would like to see have happen with the power plant property, etc. I think the most important thing we can do is continue doing the work that we do. I think it's important for our community, and if we can improve on that, great. It's pretty simple, but I think it's effective.
I think if somebody dropped $100,000 out of the sky and said, here, Rob, do what you want with this, I don't think paying a consultant is where you would spend that money.
Well, and I think what Dick's getting to is I'm not sure if it would be something that this would probably be much larger than the recreation department, what we're talking about. I think we're talking about something you would definitely include the planning department and public works and the city council, of course, because you are talking about park properties, making sure you take a look at usage, etc., how much they are utilized, and all of those things. So, I think there's more to it than for us. I think it's more about the overall city and what they may see. Well, and maybe you guys be the ones that are the driver.
If that's the case, if it's a system-wide review and plan, sure, we can play. Just let somebody else pay for it.
Well, see, to me, it's been suggested by, both members of council as well as the citizenry, different people have come forward and suggested that a master plan be done. So if there is a sufficient support from the citizens of the city, if they wanted to go ahead and work it into a budget, as a budget item, then that's a council decision. I think all what would come out of us, and I think what Rob said is we probably need another meeting on this and bring in Public Works, because we're really asking a question, I think, of the adequacy of our park system, as well as the facilities, the utilization of the facilities within them. And it's been suggested that this be looked at by an outside consultant rather than, the internal. And I think we should have another meeting bringing in, representatives of the park to see what they are, especially, Public Works. I don't know who else would we want to?
I would think, of course, city manager, you would want to make sure to have here as well.
How about the marina?
It may be. I mean, those are all
That's part
within
of recreation.
the park system. I mean, they're all.
Can I say something?
That's why you're here.
I think there's 3 members right here on this city council that need to come more activities or visit, because they never come to anything. They don't even know what they're representing.
Is your mic on?
Sit closer to your microphone.
Yes, I think there's 3 of the 5 right here in the city council that come to nothing. And how do they know what's going on? They don't come to our meetings. They don't visit Patty or Rob's programs. So how do they know so much?
It's true.
And I'm not afraid to say their names if I have to.
No, you don't have to. It's, they have to answer for themselves. We can't answer
It's
for them.
sad.
I'm sorry?
It's sad.
Well,
They're here to...
as I say, it's not only the council members, but it's also, other people, the citizenry that have brought this up, and it's a legitimate request. Because like Rob said, we haven't really had an outside opinion since 1992, and even that.
That was just recreation.
Yes.
We had a packed house one night here, out in the street, when they asked for our opinions on stuff and what we wanted.
Well, if the city council...
That was a power plant you're talking about.
No,
Right?
recreation. A couple of years back, we asked them for their opinions on stuff. When people came in about Dodgertown, it came out everything.
No, and it might have been Dodgertown discussion as well.
Yeah. But if the council is interested in doing a master plan, then it might indicate that they are interested in recreation.
If the power plant, if the electric sale goes through, then maybe there's money to do something like this system-wide.
Yeah, there's always those possibilities. I mean, right now, we work with what's provided in front of us, and we just move forward. That's what we do.
All right, I have a suggestion, is that we put this on the agenda for next meeting with and ask Public Works to come in and the city manager for a broader discussion. And then based on that, make a suggestion going forward, for council to consider. Comments?
What are you going to do if your consultant says that building over on 16th needs to be tore down?
That's what you hire them for. I mean, you're asking for...
Every indication I'm getting is that I think we have a broad scope here, and there's a broad brush, and you don't want to get yourself to... I think you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're not looking at it. I think there's so many things to be possibly looked at and discussed, I think, at that next meeting. You may be able to bring it down to a central idea that you want to look at. There might be one piece of property, or there might be all kinds of properties. That's what I'm saying. Once you have all the expertise in, I think you'll have a better feel of how much you would want maybe to move forward with the city council, whether you want to look at just parks, whether you want to look at facilities in parks, whether you want to look at the number of activities in the parks, whether you want to look at, there's a number of different approaches, I think, And, you know, again, when you have consultants, they make opinions. That just means they make opinions. And it's not that they necessarily have to be completely abided by. Their recommendations is what they are. So.
Okay, Patty.
Depends on what information they need to collect or we need them to collect, and what are they comparing it to? Like what are we supposed to do with that information? Like it's all, like you said, their opinion, so I don't know.
I don't know,
It doesn't make sense to spend a lot of money on that.
I agree.
But
I mean, it hasn't been that many months ago since we were crying that they wouldn't release the funds to fix the bathroom at Leisure Square. It has not been that long ago, you know? And so if you're talking about, you know, how to spend money, spending it on a consultant to turn around and say, we don't like their ideas, so.
Well, and I think that might be for the next month's meeting to talk about all of this stuff, and if you have those people there, and I think that's what Dick's getting to, if you have all those people there, you guys come back with a decision and say, I don't think we should talk about this anymore. Or you may come back and go, well, let's maybe talk about this or that, or let's talk about this piece of property or that piece of property or this facility or that facility or whatever you come up with. I think what Dick's looking for is that he's, just like you all, I'm sure you've seen that there's been a lot of discussion on property in the city, and especially green space. So I think that's why he wanted to bring it forward today, and just for discussion and have someone move forward, because there are community people, big community people who have brought that forward.
Having a master plan is cool. That's something we should do.
And that might be what you get out of the whole discussion.
Yeah, because we've been working around this. And the question of how many parks do you need, what should they provide, I mean, all that. There are experts out there to give an opinion, you know, and it's up to us to act. But at this point, you know, are we driving a rudderless boat here? I mean, we've been driving this thing. I've been on this commission right over 20 years. I think Greg's been on longer than I have, but it's, at times, I mean, we're self-directed. Do we need outside input? I think is the question. And then, is the cost worth it? Is the other question. So, again, my suggestion is let's just put this on the agenda and work it up next month.
We'll see if there's any interest, see if they have any interest, city manager and
Council?
yeah.
Well, we basically had a vision for the power plant property. I mean, we came up with all kinds of ideas. The chamber came up with ideas. And Dodgertown, evidently, they're going to sell that, right?
Don't know.
That's
Not yet.
that's the latest thought. But still, no decision has been made on that, whether to sell it or not.
I mean, I definitely know it's up for discussion. Serious discussion.
All right, so I think the question is right now, do we want to table this to the next meeting?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do here today by ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, it's tabled. All right, moving on. Old business, there is none. Recreation Director's matters.
I'm going to just hand this right off to Patty.
Okay, well, matter A, you'll see that there is a gymnastics registration on October 6th, so I need to explain that a little bit. Our Christmas drama this year is going to be later in December, like 20th and 21st. So that left a big gap between our two fall gymnastics sessions. So we filled that gap by having a little mini session for 2 weeks in October. So that's what that registration is for.
Why the big gap?
Because usually our Christmas drama is the beginning
Early
of December.
a couple weeks earlier.
But since we go by the school's calendar, they get first priority, so we just get the dates that they have available for us.
Got it.
So it got pushed back, which is fine. We're making it work, and I think this little mini session is going to be popular.
Might be better. You might find a lot of people in a festive mood who want to go see something.
True.
At Christmas
Might
time.
get a different crowd.
Yeah.
Halloween parade is scheduled for October 27th, 10 a.m. Starts at the Women's Club and walks to the community center for the costume contest. I know Judy said she wanted to judge, and is there anybody else that would like to volunteer? You can always contact me or Gabby when you make a decision. And then the circus was great. I mean, I always say the same thing. It was a success. The kids had a great time. They did an awesome job. Thanks to those of you that came to see it. Thanks to Rob for being the MC.
Yeah, right?
It was a fun one. And that's all.
It was very good. All of you did a very good job. Yeah, to keep coming up with the ideas.
Well, we've got next year already. Since it's centennial,
Is that a new theme?
it'll be our theme for the circus.
And the high school band here is doing music to relate to the 100th anniversary also, and it's wonderful. I saw most of the show.
Yeah, just as an FYI, there are a number of events for the centennial beginning in October of this year, running through the October of next year. So
Are
I
they
would just
gonna
tell
have-
folks to go on the City of Vero Beach website to find out.
For the
where they're-
calendar? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna ask
Yep.
you.
So what's the kickoff event?
Their kickoff event is, let's see, you've got a Centennial Brew on October 1st. On October 5th and 6th, you have McKee Botanical Gardens participating with an event. And then you got the Quilters Guild. I mean, there's so many events. But it looks like it's a Centennial Brew.
The big one is going to be the football game.
Correct, which is October the 26th, I believe. That sound right? October 26th? They're going to have a special recognition on the 26th football game.
Fireworks?
Centennial. I don't think fireworks. I think it's just going to be more about all the different people that are a part of the event and being
Special
recognized.
halftime show, isn't it? It's a special halftime show?
Yeah, I believe
That they
so.
made just for the centennial?
Yes, that's right. And then there's going to be a bunch of tree plantings in October, but then the events really start to pick up. Anything from beach bash to enhanced fireworks displays to New Year's Eve fireworks to you name it. There's a number of different things. Trolley rides, tours. It's really impressive what they're doing. And Tammy and Tony Young, Councilmember Young, have been doing a really good job of making it happen.
So what is the recreation department involved in?
The Recreation Department is one of the people, they're the soldiers. We're out in the field pretty much helping them where they need it. So we'll help out with things like in fact, I'm going to the 2 tree dedications. I'll be one of the representatives at the tree dedications at a couple of the schools. And then we're going to participate in the New Year's Eve and make sure that goes off without any hitches. And then we've got...
Where is that gonna be?
That's going to be downtown. The 4th of July, we oversee the 4th of July, so that's going to be a big one.
You're talking about fireworks, so on New Year's Eve, where are they going to do those?
They'll do those right out of Pocahontas Park.
Okay.
And then you have them, then the other one will be a major player and will be the next year, October, the next Halloween parade, which will be a monster. And then it'll be the major event with the everything, with all kinds of stuff.
So are you overseeing the Pocahontas Park fireworks?
I'm going to be one of the people meeting with Zambelli International, yep.
Yep.
Making sure they do it and keep
Well,
everybody safe.
follow on to the 4th of July.
Yeah, make sure everything goes. And then we'll participate and we'll probably help out with things that are maybe enhanced from anything from the veterans events to any of the parties, things like that. For instance, we have a banner, let's see, we're going to have a banner dedication on October the 24th at 10 a.m., where it's going to go over the 14th Avenue. We'll make sure that we have the podium and the microphone ready for them, and the street will be closed, and there's going to be a little simple banner dedication to get kicked off the whole year, and then they'll have their meeting in the community center. Those are the kind of things we do for the Recreation Department for the Centennial.
All right, good. Glad you're representing. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chairman's matters. I think I've pretty well discussed my issues. Members' matters.
I just want to, you'll tell Gabby that our club voted to give her the $100 for the candy, and they're waiting for the date for the bag stuffing. They're anxious to.
And a big thank you to them for the $100. We did receive a check today.
Oh, you got it
Thank
already?
you already, Bobby.
How did that happen? She
I
must
don't
have
know,
brought
but
it.
I saw a $100 check, and it went into one of our...
Oh, she probably left it with our rent last night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All good. Thank you.
I got a couple of things. The next meeting's on a Thursday, so it's not, what's the deal?
Next meeting for Rec Commission? Last night, October 9th.
It's supposed to be 9th. I got it typed wrong. I apologize.
Okay,
I posted as the 4th, sorry.
okay. And how are the rentals coming for River House?
Good. I know that they are coming. I know that Lori's getting a lot of them. It's starting to pick up.
One of the things I mentioned before, and now that that issue is sort of put to bed, you know, it would be a good idea for Lori to contact all of the management companies in town. You know, I told you that our management company, Elliott Merrill, was saying, you know, we can't rent the River House now. It's not going to be available because it's for sale. I said that at a meeting a few times ago. Anyway, but those people they plan annual meetings for their homeowners associations.
Okay.
You know, and there's more companies in town than Elliott Merrill, but they have a lot of associations they represent, and that's a good place, you know, to mine for rentals.
Well, I think, I know with Patty, with what she does, how well she does with the social networking, I think we can include that in as part of it.
Yeah,
All our folks, but yes,
I don't know.
call the management companies, no question. And also, when you talk to them, be able to get a place where we can actually email, or send them pictures of how the facility looks now and how nice it is.
Yeah.
I agree. We can do that.
I know that that's coming up again on the Oak Chase meeting on the 28th of this month. That's one of the things they're going to talk about, where to have the annual meeting.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good. We could do that.
Greg, you have anything?
I've heard just about everything I was thinking about, so it's already been said. Thank you.
Judy?
The salute to the soldier that passed away through town, do we have anything to do with that?
We did not. I know the veterans have been working with the family.
Okay, I had attended that with many of the kids in the neighborhood waving flags.
Oh,
I say the
very nice.
city really did a good job.
That's good.
Nice. It would be nice to see more veterans saluted like that. I'll be glad to get with Tony and work on it. My dad was a 30-year veteran.
I know he would love to hear from you.
Okay,
Seriously, give him a call.
I will.
All right. The next meeting, we've already discussed
right.
the correct date. Anybody else have anything else?
I do not.
We are adjourned.